Hi and welcome to the first episode of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name is Caroline. I'm coming to you from Fife in Scotland. This is going to be my knitting, crochet and all-round fibre fun podcast. I have been knitting predominantly for the last 2 or 3 years, interspersed with some crochet, Tunisian crochet. In the last few months I was bought a Ashford e-spinner 3, so I have been learning how to spin. I had previously bought myself a drop spindle, and due to various medical reasons it just wasn't working. I was getting yarn, but I couldn't practice for the length of time that you needed to practice in order to get better. Plus it was far too slow. So I talked my other half into buying me the spinner and a lot of fibre, and I've been spinning, but I'll show you that later on. I thought it would be a good idea at this point to quickly mention I suffer from fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed 2-3 years ago as having it. At the time it was like, whatever. Seriously, at the time I actually thought that it was just something else the doctor was going to put on to explain the fact that he couldn't decide what was wrong with me. I didn't have a lot of the symptoms. Actually, I'll rephrase that. At the time I didn't have a lot of the symptoms that you would normally see, or what I would consider as being normal. I had previously been diagnosed as being hypermobile in all of my joints. Literally, the consultant, when she told me that I had hypermobility, I was like, yeah, you're a bit bendy. There is absolutely nothing I can do about that. And it was like, fair enough. You'll probably find that the podcast will be a bit choppy. That will either be because I have completely lost concentration and went completely off tangent and just started rambling a load of garbage. I will have went on a rant for absolutely nothing, because that seems to be a thing I do right now, is I'm quite ranty. And it's like random rants, it's not even like decent rants. Then there will be times where I have completely lost my train of thought. I will have had to have stopped the video, looked back at what I had been talking about before I'd lost concentration, and then tried to restart it back up again. Part of the hypermobility is I have chronic pain. I will probably move around a lot, and that is purely because right now, as we transition from summer into autumn, I am having a particularly, actually it's not particularly bad, it is one of the worst flare-ups that I've had since I was diagnosed. I am pretty sore. Part of the reason that I'm so sore is my son's in his second year of his apprenticeship. This week is the week where he spends the entire week at college, which means because of Ryan's work, he's not able to take him to college, purely because we made the decision of I am now struggling with walking the dogs, more so for Arya pulling. The choice was either he could take my son to college or he could walk the dogs. Walking the dogs is actually better for me. It just means that the medication that I would normally take at night to help me sleep better and help my muscles and my joints repair itself isn't happening. So I suffer from particularly bad fibre fog, which is part of the losing concentration. I have found that knitting in particular has helped a lot with controlling the pain. Obviously it doesn't take the pain away, it's still there. It just means that I'm not concentrating as much on the pain because I'm too busy thinking about, oh my god, I've done this wrong, I need to rip it back. So I do spend an obscene amount of time knitting and crocheting and various other fibre distractions. I will try to keep the editing to a minimum. However, there is every chance that while my body is getting used to the change in the temperature, it's likely to be a bit choppy. If you don't like it, by all means, there's plenty of other podcasts out there to watch. So yeah, let's go into the good stuff. I'm going to jump straight in to finished objects, of which I have one, and then we'll go through, that will actually lead on to works in progress. So the first finished object that I have, well, it's not completely finished, I've still got to block it, I need to move, is little baby flowers. Obviously the ends have still to be woven in, and I need to take all the stitch markers out, and it needs to be blocked. But it's so cute. It's cute. Now that's the newborn size. It is done for a friend who's expecting in February, and it's done out of King Cole Zigzag in the 3160 colourway, which is the plum wine. And because it only took 60 grams to complete it, which meant that I had quite a bit left over. So the other night I was speaking to my other half, and he'd said to him, well, do you think I should do a hat or do socks? Albeit the hat would have been a bit of a stretch, so we decided I'm going to do socks. They're so cute. So I started this, cast it on last night. So I'm just working on the rib. I'm just doing 2 at a time. And the pattern that I'm using is the baby tube socks. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and that is by, I'm never going to attempt to pronounce that name. It's there. They had previously started it and got a bit carried away and started doing up leg, and then realised that I'm never going to remember how many rows there is, so I may as well just do 2 at a time. So that's what I've done. They will more than likely be finished by next week. Chances are they'll be finished by the end of the weekend. There isn't really much to the pattern. So that is the only finished object I've got and what I'm working on. Another project that I'm working on is a baby blanket. Now, whatever possessed me to buy this yarn, I have no idea. I think I may have possibly been on something. It is the Melody super soft knitting yarn. Yarn's a bit of a stretch because it is literally just a bit of thread. I'm sure this is what would be classed as eyelash yarn. It is a colossal pain in the backside. I have had this in my stash for 2, possibly 3 years. This colour, now it doesn't even have a colourway for it, but this colour, which is the purples, yellows and pinks, I did have to go and buy. I do have another ball of it, which is over there, which is originally started the blanket in, thinking, oh, I have another ball of that. Pulled the sash out, could not find it anywhere. I knew the shop that I bought it from still did it. So at the beginning of the week I thought, right, I'll nip into the shop. I had a look, could only see the blue in this pinky colour. And I was like, well, she doesn't know whether she's having a boy or a girl, so I would rather it be unisex as opposed to having to make two. The manager was lovely. He had a right good rake on the shelves, and he's like, if it's not out, I know for a fact we don't have it, because whenever yarn comes in, it is our biggest seller. Whenever yarn comes in, it gets put, it literally gets taken off the lorry and right out onto the shelves. He says, so if it's not there, we don't have it. He says the problem being, when we get stock in, he says we don't get told what stock we're getting. He says we pretty much just get it. He says the yarn is the only thing where we need to go through an area manager in order to get it. He says it is our speciality thing. He says you have to ask permission before any order's being placed. He says I'm more than happy to ask the area manager to bring it in. He says, but they'll only bring it in if more than one store asks for it. So he did tell me another couple of stores to get it in that he knew had it in stock. Not specifically that colourway, but he knew there's a chance that we would possibly get it there. I did then drive all the way in the opposite direction to this other shop, and they didn't have it. At which point it was like, no, I'm done. I'm not searching all over Fife trying to find this colour. It really isn't that important. Already knew I had the blue. And I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll buy a ball of the pink. I was never planning on making it massive. What I'll do is I'll buy the pink and the yellow, and basically what I've done is right here. It's just a simple garter blanket. Started from one corner, and I might need to move back a bit. And so I started at this corner, and I've just gone out. Now, rather than increasing it both sides, all I've done is knitted across, got to the last stitch, the second last stitch, knit front and back, turned, knit all the way back, got to the second last stitch, knit front and back, and just carried the yarn up, and it has made a fair size blanket. Fair size blanket. I love this. She will be, obviously when we pack up the baby stuff to send to her, there will be a little note in saying, if you do not want this blanket, send it back, because I won't. To be honest, she's not the type of person who would probably send it back. Same with the jumper. She does run a toddler group for new mums, and I was going to say, anything that isn't any use to you, or you don't want, by all means, please sell it and raise some funds for the toddler group. So should probably find somebody to sell it to. I love this. Chances are I probably will make another one. I'm not in desperate need for blankets, but every now and again I'll pass it to my partner and go, look how much I've done. And he'll have a squidge and he's like, oh, I really love it. It is really, really thick and quite stretchy. So the chances are the other half will probably want one. This has been done on 5.5 high sharps. I had previously tried it on, it was either 6 or 7s, and it was a bit, I could get a pinky through. This is going to be for a baby. I'm not wanting baby's fingers getting stuck in it, so I did go down a size. If I was to make it for my partner, the chances are I'd probably do it a bit bigger and on bigger size needles. I'm struggling after a while. I think I get about 5 or 6 rows in and it's like, no, my thumb's starting to hurt. I've got until February. I'm hoping to have all the baby stuff finished for February. Well, for the beginning of February, that's the deadline that I've given myself. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, that isn't a major issue. So that is my second work in progress. Keeping on the baby theme, I'm making her another blanket. This time it is a crochet blanket. It is by Drops, and it's the Sleepyhead baby blanket. It is pattern number 33-1. That's it there. I don't know what has been up with me the past couple of weeks. I am really, really struggling mentally to follow charts. I don't know if it is just Drops patterns that just I don't get, but this has been ripped out and restarted a good half a dozen times, to the stage where I now have stitch markers every 15 stitches just to keep myself right. Again, it's into my back again. It's so cute. This has been done on a 3mm crochet hook. The pattern itself is really simple. I am now in there's a help if it's showing it the right way around. I am on ball number 2. It has been done from Drop Saffron, which is their cotton yarn, in colourway 50, and that is the light ice blue. It is 100% cotton, 160 metres per 50 grams. It states that it's going to need about 6. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, because it's 3. I've made the bigger size, which in drop saffron is 300 grams. I do have a lot of this in my stash. I'm sure I've got about 10 or 12 balls of this. The plan originally was just to knit the blanket. I don't think it says in the pattern how it's finished. Oh. Finish after one row with, excuse me, treble crochets. So there isn't really a border to it. I did subscribe to the blueprint, which was Crafty Unlimited. I'd been watching videos and I cannot for the life of me remember which video it was, but there was a video for crocheting techniques, and one of them was how to crochet an I-cord. It looked lovely. So because I do have enough of this once it's finished, the chances are I'm probably going to I-cord round it. My edges are a bit skewy. A lot of that will come out of blocking, but obviously because it's for a baby, I want it to look pretty, so I'll probably I-cord the edges. So that is that one. My next work in progress is a pair of socks from my partner Ryan. This yarn was bought from King Craig Fabrics when we went on holiday in July up in Lairg. Now King Craig Fabrics are in Dornoch, I think it's Dornoch, and Brora. When we were away, Ryan had already pre-checked out what yarn shops were going to be round about, and the plan was to go to one. Well, we were going to hit a couple because where we were in Lairg, Brora is a bit of an hour across, and Dornoch was a bit the same. But there was also a plan to go to Nairn and go to the yarn shop in Nairn, and I think we drove up on the Saturday, and on the Sunday it was like, right, they are definitely open, we'll go and have a wee squidge before we take dogs to a park and go for a walk. So went to Dornoch, bought some yarn there, and we looked for a nice walk to take dogs on, and I was like, oh, we can go to Brora because there's a park literally at the back of the Brora shop. So we went to both on the same day. I have no clue which yarn came from which shop. Don't think it really matters because obviously it's the same company. This is 100% lambswool. It is lovely. Actually, it's not 100% lambswool, that's a lie. There is, I'm sure, some nylon in this. It is 80% lambswool, 14% nylon. It is a 4-ply yarn. It is lovely. It's proper thick woolly socks. Because Ryan spends a lot of his time outdoors, during the winter he really does like to wear woolly socks in his boots. So it was purpose. The minute I bought it, I knew exactly what it was going to be. It is a 64 stitch sock, toe up, two at a time. It's just a simple 3x1 rib on the foot. I will probably do the Fish Lips Kiss heel in the same colour. That normally goes in about 8 inches, 7.5, 8 inches. Do the heel, and then Ryan's a bit weird. He likes exceptionally long socks. So the chances are the leg will be about 9 inches. I'm just going to continue the 3x1 rib up the leg. It is being knit on 2.25 higher hair sharps, a 40-inch cord. Ryan has a lot of hand knit socks. He's not in any major rush for these, so they just get done when I can actually be bothered. I'll just continue on with them until they're done. My next project is the Tulip and the Rose by Bearded Designs. I bought this at Perth Yarn Festival this year. When Ryan and myself went, I went with a plan-ish. I knew I was going to buy yarn from John. I knew exactly what I was going to make from the yarn that I bought from John. I have bought patterns from John before, but it's been on Ravelry, and I prefer actually having being able to download them. I'm quite bad for losing patterns. This pattern is very rarely out of my folder, so I'm really careful with this. I probably will buy another one on Ravelry just to make sure that I've actually got a spare one. Basically, when I bought it, I'd actually seen it in person. And it was like, I really need to have that. It is stunning. It has been done on 3.75 higher sharps. This is how much I've got done just now. And I've got my roll counter. I had previously started it and then realised that I couldn't actually remember which row I was on. It has been done from Drops Baby Merino in colourway 16, which is red. Due to the fibre fog, it's not getting a lot of work done on it because it is taking a lot of concentration. I'm enjoying knitting it. I will continue to work on it here and there when I'm not feeling as exhausted as what I am now. But it is amazing. What I would say about John's patterns, unlike the Drops patterns where you practically need 3 to read them, they are so easy to read. Hide the chart. chart, you get the key. You also get an explanation of the patterns. It'll show you how to lay it out. And then at the back, for anyone who can't read patterns, is the written instructions. I am trying purposely to work on my chart reading. I can read charts, it just takes a lot of effort to keep following it, hence why I have the highlighter tape. This pattern is a complete dream to work on. Once I've completed the baby blankets, chances are I'll probably do some more work on this. So that is that one. The next project is the complete bane of my existence. I have been working on this project for 2 years, past September. I am now 25 months into this. It has been ripped out three, possibly four times. It originally started off as a bubble blanket. Actually, that's a complete lie. It's been ripped out a lot more than that, because I know for at least 3 times, I started this blanket at least 3 times as a bubble blanket. First time, it was too big, so ripped it out, started it again on a small size needle. The second time, our old dog and the cat got into a fight. It wasn't really a fight, obviously. The cat is quite good at swiping the dogs as the pass, and he had swiped our old German Shepherd Border Collie, who took exception to being swiped and snapped at him, and he jumped and spilled an entire cup of tea all over it. So it all had to be washed, ripped out and washed. I restarted it again, and the same cat at this point decided, despite the fact that he had a scratching post on the wall, a scratching post in the living room, that the bubble blanket was far nicer to sharpen one's claws on. So it had to be ripped out again. At this point, I lost the will to live. It was like, I've had enough. I'd already charted the blanket up, so it was easy enough in the programme that I used to change it from going backwards and forwards to doing it corner to corner. So I did it that way, and I made up a lovely chart. I then started losing which row I was on. So one weekend I decided to, where I'm filming this just now, I have my laptop on this side, Ryan has his computer on this side, the desk is absolutely massive. So what I did was, on Ryan's computer I would have the chart, on my computer I would have Word up, and I literally wrote in row for row, and ended up with this. It was originally just written out like that. That was put in after the last time. I'll stick a picture in of the day I decided this thing is. Ripped it back, started using the yarn that I've got just now. And decided, well actually that is technically not true. I had been doing the blanket, it took about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes to do a row. And I had done 3 rows and had noticed that there was just something not quite right. So I ripped out the row that I was doing, because obviously that was a problem. Redone it, still not right. So I then went back and checked over, and I thought, well, that row's right, that row's right. Oh my god, that first row was completely wrong. So I had to rip that back. By this point, the only thing I was thinking was, this is getting lobbed right out the window. I'm going to set fire to it, and I'm going to quite gladly watch it burn. However, in the back of my head I was like, I did promise him this blanket 2 years ago. Ryan's never ever complained about how long it takes me to finish anything. I would quite like to get it done. Now, this blanket has been on the go that long that British Gas no longer use the tagline "looking after your world." They have another one which I don't know what it is. However, at the time the pattern was made, it said "looking after your world." The decision was then made to reduce how many blocks. Rather than doing the full block, I was just going to do wee blocks at a time and hopefully get it done quicker. Clearly didn't happen. I have done, that's a block of 3. So I've got a world. I've got a bit of a world. These are getting done in blocks of 30 by 30 squares. Once I've done a block of 30, I will then sew up, and I'm literally just double crocheting it together. I had asked Ryan how he wanted it done, and he was like, no, here. So I very loosely done the first one, and I was like, it's going to get, obviously where it joins, you'll see it better on this part. This is where it's joining, as you can see by the ends that have to be woven in. Actually, I think they've been woven in and they just need snipped. I will single crochet at points. So here starting at the bottom, it was done in the grey until it got to the blue, and then it was double crocheted all through the blue, and then back onto the grey. When I come to join on here, I will single crochet this part here, navy blue this part, grey, navy blue and grey. It's not perfect. I don't care. I need this done this year because it was in one of my goals to have this blanket done. He doesn't care if it gets finished this year, next year or 5 years from now. Hopefully it'll be finished if he still works for British Gas. But so the plan is to put it on here, and hopefully I will get egged on to finish it. It has got to the stage right now where I've been trying to self-motivise myself, where it's a case of do a block, the different colours, do a plain block, because there is a few on the pattern. That's got a tiny wee bit here. This one, the bottom of it is purely for writing. So this side is pretty much plain until you get to here, which is the tops of that. That's plain, these are plain. They're plain. You can just see the logo there. That is the plan. I think at some point I had wrote it down that it was going to be 9,000 metres in total. So I just noticed how I've actually written it down. In total, I will have completed, once this blanket is done, 36,792 squares, and it will have used 9,000 metres of yarn. Ryan had been given the choice when we had started this about what background colour he wanted. He helped pick the colours that best suited the logo. Being colourblind, I can see colours. It's not like I see in black and white. I see colours, but they're not necessarily the colours I think they are, aren't necessarily the colours that they actually are. Because I needed the colours to actually be seen, I had said to Ryan, like, right, let's have a look, pick colours, pick them. There you go. We went across the wool shop across the road, picked the colours that he wanted, and that was it. Because I knew the grey that he chose for the background, I was needing something that came in the bigger balls. We're quite lucky, the shop across the road do the like 500 gram balls. Faircroft Junior Shades double knitting in the 100 colourway, which is, actually I can't remember, the Silver Cloud colourway. So that's the entire background. The blue, which is the writing, can't really see it there, right down the bottom, looking after your world, is done in New Fashion double knitting. Actually I'll use a bulb that's no got bits of it. New Fashion double knitting, again by Woolcraft, and it's in shade 240, and it's the Sax colourway. The next one is the navy for the Scottish Gas, and that's again done at a New Fashion double knitting by Woolcraft in the colourway 640, and that's the navy colour. The two other colours are done out of the New Fashion again, out of colour 413, and that is the emerald colour. And the last one, again New Fashion double knitting, in the colour 407, and that is the lime colour. They are all 100% acrylic. Ryan's happy with it, so as long as he's happy, that's the main thing. The plan is to do it every now and again. I can craft for hours at a time. It doesn't really bother me. Taking breaks in between. I wouldn't say I don't enjoy doing the blanket, because I do. It's just the length of time that it's taken to see any real progress on it is a colossal pain in the backside. What didn't help was losing the pattern for 2 months. I have found the pattern. I am right now going to put it in the bag with the project so I don't lose it again. So that is pretty much what I'm working on just now. Coming up are going to be a lot more baby knits. I'm hoping to do Susie quite a lot of baby clothes. Other things that I'm needing to get started is leg warmers for Ryan. I came across a pattern for leg warmers. They were cable leg warmers. And I'd made the joke with Ryan, I'm going to get you a pair of these and you can wear them to your work. And he was like, yeah, that'd be great. At the weekend, I had been thinking about starting it, but I was trying to approach it in a nice way where it's like, I love you but I don't love you enough to take cable black. And I basically just turned around and said to him, your leg warmers, let's chat. You picked a pattern that's cabled. I don't particularly want to cable them. I don't see the point in cabling them. How would you feel if I just ripped them? At which point he was like, whatever. He was like, I'm not bothered. Fair enough. So that is a plan. I do have 100% lamb's wool. I do have it in a dark colour. that I bought from King Craig Fabrics, so that's a plan. I need to knit another flax light, this time in a size 2 to 4 year old, for my friend's older son. There is another 3 blankets that I've said to her that I would knit, because it's like this, they came out, I think it was 4 of them, and I was like, I'll do you them. And various other baby patterns. Spinning. This is my e-spinner. When I decided that I wanted to learn how to spin, Ryan was like, this house is not big enough for any more crafts. There is no place in this house for a spinning wheel. You need to get a grip. As you'll come to learn, Ryan very rarely says no. And a spinning wheel, he definitely said no. And then I seen this and he was like, it's a lot of money. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I want one. And he's like, well, we'll see. Now, what I've learnt from Ryan, if he says we'll see, that means you're pretty much getting it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how much it cost. It did come from Wing and Wool Work in Wentworth, South Yorkshire. I ordered it on the Saturday. It was a bank holiday on the Monday. It came first thing on the Tuesday morning. Unfortunately, actually did I? I think I might have ordered. Actually I did. Ordered at the same time as ordering the e-spinner. I ordered 100 grams of camel down and merino, as you do. You don't know how to spin, but hey ho, let's just go and order something that isn't that you have absolutely no idea how to use. I also ordered 250 grams of the 21 micron merino, a blue mix and a grey mix. They are actually at the bottom of a box. Before buying the spinner, I did buy a drop spindle. At the time when I bought the drop spindle, I bought 500 grams of Jacob Top, which is that. I am literally just working my way through that. This was part of the reason why I signed up for the Blueprint subscription, because I'd seen that they'd done classes on how to spin. I am reasonably pleased with what I'm getting. And this is my bobbin. It's a bit thick and thin. Also at Perth, I purchased the in-car charger. Part of the reason for me buying this is obviously because of the fibromyalgia and the hypermobility and everything else that goes along with it. treadling more than likely wouldn't have worked. I struggle with driving for any long periods of time, so trying to treadle, I'm more likely to sprain my ankle than anything else. So it was like, oh, when we're out in the car, it'll take my mind off, I can spin in the car, and then proceeded to actually forget to buy the charger for the car. So while we were at Perth, the thrashing barn they were there, and I picked up some lovely bats. This is a blue-faced Leicester wool, hand dyed, 100 grams. It's lovely. And this is a merino wool in 100 grams. And I have another merino. I was speaking to one of the women on the stall, and I thought, oh, you do ask for stuff. So I thought, I'm going to try my luck. I doubt very much if they'll have any. I'll probably need to order it online. But I thought there's no harm in asking. So I had said to her, do you have the in-car charger for the eSpinner 3? She's like, I don't know. The woman who owns the company isn't here. Are you able to come back? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Went back, spoke to the person who owns the thrashing barn. I said to her, do you have it? And she was like, I think so. I'll need to have a look. So she went and had a look, and lo and behold, she did have it. It was like, I can't even remember how much she said it was. And it was like, it is coming home with me. I don't care how much it is. It is definitely coming home with me. So I bought that. Then, was it the next day? Next day after Perth, we were going to Greenock to visit my cousin. And I had said to him, I'm going to bring my spinner, I'm going to be spinning in the car, it's going to be ace. I did try it, balancing it in the car was a bit. So the plan is, I'm going to get a knee tray to put it on, and then I'll be able to spin the car. I had bought the drop spindle from World of Wool. Obviously that's where I bought the Jacob from. At the same time, I thought, well, I could do some more. A wee bit of jiggery pokery. I can now show you what else I bought from Wingham Woolwork. This is the camel down in merino, 100 grams. That will eventually just be summer. The other one was the merino mix, the 250 grams. This will probably end up being spun up for a yarn for a shawl. I think that's the grey mix, and 250 grams of the blue mix. From World of Wool, I went a bit mental and bought loads very wary of taking this out because I'm that with the tray tub and I can get it back in. Oh, so sheepy. This is 700 grams of Humbug Shetland. It is stunning. It is so nice. Now this comes in that bag, in a Ziploc bag. The minute you open the Ziploc bag, you smell sheep. It's not the bad sheep smell, it's the really nice sheepy smell. I cannot wait to get started on spinning that up. The next thing that I bought for something different is 700 grams of white Gotland pop. Oh my god, come sheep. That'll probably get spun up for a jumper. The next one, however, I don't know what I was thinking when I bought it. Well, I knew what I was thinking when I bought it. It's more to do with the amount of what I bought. I'm going to be spinning this for life. I then purchased, that is correct, 2 kilograms of merino, superwash merino. The new running joke is I am no longer allowed to order Fibre online. I have a vague recollection at the time I placed the order. I'm pretty sure I had the option of having it sent by courier or having it sent by Royal Mail. If I got it sent by Royal Mail, it would have been free. I'm sure it cost me about between £10 and £20 to have it delivered by the courier. My postie thinks I am absolutely bonkers. So I paid for a courier to bring this to me just to hide it from my postie. I have been quite good so far, and I haven't purchased any more Fibre. There is a few more purchases from Perth, but I'll show that when I get round to using it, purely because I think this is long enough. I've had to stop and start a few times. Hopefully once this has been edited I can get it up. If you want to join the Ravelry group, I will put details down here. Please feel free to come and join it. Health prevailing, the plan would be to put a podcast out every 1 to 2 weeks. If you want to subscribe, please do so. If you think, no, you're alright, I knit a lot, I crochet a lot. Hopefully they will get better. It is a bit stoppy starty, and hopefully I will see you next week.